Hello everyone, Darko 2012 here with Global Government News, and I'm covering an article that was posted on CNN.com titled Security Concerns Cause Doctors to Leave Hospital, Quake Victims. I originally saw this on Infowars.com, where it was titled something like, UN, uh, you know, telling doctors or letting Haitians die. And so this kind of came my way because it went down the eugenics path, which is what I said yesterday in my video, which is it's not hot kill. They're not gonna, if the hurricane was, or the hurricane, if the earthquake was natural and not man-made, right, by HARP, then it would be soft kill, which would be kind of after the fact, okay? So they're not directly killing them. They're just gonna allow them to die off. That's what soft kill is. That's what soft kill eugenics is. So let's read in here and see the details. It says Port-au-Prince, Haiti, earthquake victims writhing in pain and grasping at life. Watch doctors and nurses walk away from a field hospital Friday night after Belgian medical team evacuated the area, saying it was concerned about security. The decision left CNN chief medical correspondent Sanjay Gupta as the only doctor at the hospital to get the patients through the night. CNN initially reported, based on conversations with some of the doctors, that the United Nations ordered the Belgian first aid and support team to evacuate. Again, the United Nations ordered the Belgian first aid and support team to evacuate. However, Belgian chief coordinator Geert Gijs, I'm not sure if I pronounced this name right, but a doctor who was at the hospital with 60 Belgian medical personnel said it was his decision to pull the team out for the night. He said he requested UN security personnel to staff the hospital overnight, but was told that peacekeepers would only be able to evacuate the team. He said it was a tough decision, but that he accepted the UN offer to evacuate after a Canadian medical team, also at the hospital with the Canadian security officers, left the site Friday afternoon. The Belgian team returned Saturday morning. He said the United Nations has agreed to provide security for Saturday night. The team has requested the Belgian government to send its own troops for the field hospital, which Gitz said he expects to arrive late Sunday. Responding to the CNN report that Gupta was the only doctor left at Port-au-Prince Field Hospital, UN spokesman Martin Nasurki said Saturday that the World Body's mission in Haiti did not order any medical team to leave. If the team left, it was at the request of their own organization, he said. So right now, it's just kind of like he said, she said. Edmund Mullet, the UN Assistant Secretary General for Peacekeeping Operations, told reporters that later the security officers deemed the makeshift hospital unsafe. It seems that we've heard some reports in the international media that the United Nations asked or forced some medical teams to not work anymore in some clinic. That is not true. That is completely untrue, Mullet said Saturday. CNN video from the scene Friday night shows Belgian teams packing up its supplies and leaving with an escort of blue-helmeted UN peacekeepers in marked trucks. So, yeah, the UN isn't going to allow, to be straight up and truthful and honest as far as what the situation scenario really was. They're not going to say, yeah, we told them to leave because we don't really care and we want these people to be sick and to die off. They have to cover their ass, so this is what they're going to do. And so we're just tracking it and following it through the mainstream corporate media. Gupta, assisted by other CNN staffers, security personnel, and at least one Haitian nurse who refused to leave, assessed the needs of the 25 patients, but there was little they can do without the supplies. More people, some in critical condition, were trickling in late Friday. I've never been in a situation like this. This is quite ridiculous, Gupta said. With a dearth of medical facilities in Haiti's capital, ambulances had nowhere else to take patients, some of whom had suffered severe trauma, amputations, and head injuries under the rubble. Others had suffered a great deal of blood loss, but there was no blood supplies left at the clinic. Gupta feared that some would not survive the night. He and others stayed with the injured all night after the medical team had left, after the generators gave out and the tents turned pitch black. That's not a very productive, scene that I'm getting, picturing in my head. Everything I'm hearing in the media as far as we will not waver, and all this help that they have over there. You'd think that it would, lights on and just a lot of movement and stuff, but it's painting a different picture here. Gupta monitored patients' vital signs, administered painkillers, and continued intravenous drips. He stabilized 3 new patients in critical condition. At 3:45 a.m., he posted a message on Twitter, pulling all-nighter at Haiti Field Hospital. Lots of work, but all patients stable. Turned my crew into a crack medical team tonight. Says he said the Belgian doctors did not want to leave their patients behind, but were ordered out by the United Nations, which sent buses to transport them. So they had security at buses, and they just get them out. There's concern about riots not far from here, and this is part of the problem, Gupta said. There have been scattered reports of violence throughout the capital. What is striking to me as a physician is that patients who just had surgery, patients who are critically ill, are essentially being left here. Nobody to care for them, Gupta said. Sandra Pierre, a Haitian who had been helping at the makeshift hospital, said the medical staff took most of the supplies with them. All the doctors, all the nurses are gone, she said. They were expected to be back tomorrow. They had no plan on leaving tonight, and it was an order that came suddenly. And Gupta said, it's just you. Or she told Gupta, it's just you. And we're almost done with this article here. It's just important what they say at the end. A 7.0 magnitude earthquake flattened Haiti's capital city on Tuesday afternoon, affecting as many as 3 million people as it fanned out across the island's nation. Tens of thousands of people are feared dead. I heard it was like 200,000. Haiti, the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, also the most densely populated. I looked at it. It's like 83rd as far as population density go. Lacked adequate medical resources even before the disaster. That's an important point that they're making here. And has been struggling this week to tend to the huge numbers of injured. The clinic set up under the several tents was a godsend to the few who were lucky to have been brought here. And why is this important? The poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere lacked adequate medical resources even before the disaster, is because if you just watch and listen and view what the media is kind of the message and the gist that they're putting out there, they're saying that, oh, the earthquake has caused this instability and they lack all the medical resources and because of the earthquake. But it's like, no, it's not. It's like, it was terrible before the earthquake. It was terrible after the last hurricane that they got hit by, and it was terrible before the last hurricane that they got hit by. Retired, and just finishing up on that comment was, and so what do you have now there? You got all this money, all these resources going there, and how the hell are there people, doctors who don't have, who can't stay and work on patients, who have no supplies? They're moving them out. It is ridiculous. And so it's like, what's going on there? Is it just troops and quote peacekeepers, the blue helmets, and tanks, or not tanks, but they have everything but tanks, the drones and all that, warships and helicopters and Marines and Coast Guard. I mean, I'm kind of curious as to what the hell's going on down there. And it seems like we're getting different pictures, because they're saying that they have a video of them being escorted, out of there, being told to leave. Video from Friday night shows the Belgian team packing up supplies and leaving with an escort of blue-helmeted peacekeepers, meaning they were physically forced to leave. God only knows what they would have done if they didn't leave, on their own volition. But just finishing up here on this story, it says retired Army Lieutenant General Russell Honor, who led relief efforts for Hurricane Katrina in 2005, said the evacuation of the clinic's medical staff was unforgivable. Search and rescue must trump security, Honor said. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. This is a retired Army Lieutenant General. He said he drew parallels between New Orleans and Port-au-Prince. He said even in Katrina, he'd never seen medical staff walk away. He said, I find this astonishing that doctors left. People are scared of the poor.